It is Modi's government which has given constitutional status to National Commission for Backup Class. So you are all aware how parties like Congress, Communist and the so-called regional parties have betrayed OBCs during their regime. Right from 2004 to 14, UPA was in power. Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister. In spite of Congress was in power for 10 years, and the so-called regional parties, they claim to be the champions for BCs, supporting Congress government. They never tried to give National Commission for Backup Classes a constitutional status. In spite of the demand made by Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, how the Congress has betrayed, so people are aware. Even after Modi ji coming to power, when he introduced a bill in the Parliament, Lok Sabha in 2017, not only Congress and Communists, the so-called regional parties also opposed to give constitutional status to National Commission for Backup Class. So they even opposed the bill in Rajya Sabha. The bill got rejected in 2017 also. But for the efforts of Modi ji, Amit Shah ji and our beloved President J.P. Nadda ji, the bill got passed in 2018. Since then, NCBC is trying to do its best in a short span of this 5 years. We could see a sea change in reservations for OBCs in education institutions like Navodaya, Kendriya Vidyalaya, Sainik schools, law universities, wherein first time in the history, 2 years back, BC students have got reservations. Not less than 4 lakh people got benefited, OBC students. Had it been implemented since past many years, the BCs could have been empowered, would have been got a social status, but unfortunately they were denied. But for the anti-BC policies of the then governments. So recently NCBC has brought into limelight various the parties which were in power, either Congress, Trinamool Congress, BRS, so-called TRS party, YSRCP. How they've been betraying OBCs, particularly belonging to Hindus. Hindu OBCs suffering due to appeasement policies of these so-called parties who claim to be the supporters, champions of OBC and weaker sections. These parties not only floated reservation norms for OBCs, depriving a large section of the population the benefits of reservations. Recently in Bengal, the NCBC has brought into limelight wherein there are total 179 OBC castes in Bengal, where the Muslim population is 27%, whereas Hindu population is 70%. Out of this 27 Muslim population, there are 118 OBC castes. Out of 179, 118 are OBCs belonging to Muslim religion. And whereas BCs are only 61 castes among Hindus out of this 70% Hindu population. So 70% Hindu population has 61 BC caste, 27% Muslim population has got 118 castes. So you can imagine how these so-called Muslim castes have been included in the BC list in West Bengal. The NCBC pointed out that the people who have migrated from Bangladesh, Myanmar, all Rohingyas have been issued BC certificates in the name of BCs. And there are only 27% reservations at state level in West Bengal. In the 27% also, 17% are for Muslim BCs and 10% of reservation to Hindu BCs. So 70% of Hindu population having 61 castes has only 10% reservation, and 27% Muslim population having 118 castes has 17%. Is this not the appeasement at the cost of BC Hindus? They also show that most of the OBCs Hindus have been converted to Islam. So this is the trend going on in so-called opposition parties in Bengal, even in Telangana. Just for the sake of vote bank politics, height of appeasement. We have no bias against any community, but why should there be a distinct bias in favor of Muslim community? That is what we question as BJP. We have no bias at all against any community, but why there should be a distinct bias when it comes to Muslim community? And unfortunately, in Andhra Pradesh, the height of appeasement took place during YSR regime, 2004 to 2019. As far as the Anantaram Commission recommendations are concerned, there are hardly 193 castes in Andhra Pradesh, undivided Andhra Pradesh, having a population of 54% OBCs. OBC population was only 54%. As per the Mandal Commission recommendations in the year 1980, there were 3,687 castes identified by Mandal Commission as BCs in all states and UTs. And there were only 2 castes from Muslim religion have been included in Andhra Pradesh and the erstwhile undivided Andhra Pradesh state, wherein BCs had 25% reservations. And the then Chief Minister Rajshekhar Reddy has included nearly 14 castes from Muslim religion and given a separate reservations in the name of BCE category, 4% reservation. As per the Mandal Commission recommendations, already 2 Muslim castes have been identified and they have been provided reservations in the BC A and B since 1972. But when it came to 2004 to 2009, the then Chief Minister Rajshekhar Reddy, to appease Muslim community, All 14 castes, and what were the castes left out in Muslims? And no Christian, no Sikh, no Jain has been considered in this minority. And the height of appeasement goes after division of the state in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And our beloved Chief Minister, Chandrasekhar Rao Garu, KCR, knowing fully well that though the population in Telangana of Muslims is only 12%, already exclusively 4% reservation have been given to Muslims for 14 castes in the name of E category, apart from BC A and B, where castes like Dudekula, Ladakh, and Qureshi, whatnot, have been already included in BC and B. Mehtar. And the so-called our Chief Minister, height of appeasement at the cost of OBC Hindus. He has passed a resolution in the assembly increasing the 4% these so-called reservations to 12% to Muslims. So you can imagine when state has got 12% reservation, already in the name of 4%, in the name of BC A and B, not less than 4% of Muslims have been already adjusted in E category and almost 3% in BC and B. So almost 7% reservations have already gone in the name of BC Muslims. Hardly, how much is left? 5 to 6%. Out of the 6%, will there not be any creamy Muslims in that? If you take that creamy Muslims, creamy layer into consideration, again, the population of the Muslims left over will be hardly 5 or 6% or 4%. So this gentleman, KCR wanted, I also know that one commission which he has constituted by Sudhir, something like that, they were also insisting for hardly 8 to 9% reservation for Muslims. But this gentleman wanted to become a champion of Muslims. He said that not 8 or 9%, entire 12% be given reservation. So will this not be called as an communal reservations? So the 25% reservation for BCs, which is going on since 1972 till Rajshekar Reddy period, there was no increase in reservation. Though some of the castes have been already included in the BC list also. So after division of the state, this 193 original BC caste in undivided Andhra Pradesh, now it has come to 135 castes in Telangana and 156 BCs in Andhra Pradesh. Apart from this, there were 34% local body reservations for BCs. But unfortunately, these two states ruled by TRS and YSRCP, when court has given a direction that the reservation should not exceed 50%, so without providing any empirical data to the court or scientific data to the court, though the so-called gentleman KCR has conducted Samagra Kutumba survey, he did not provide any data to the court. Henceforth, he did not approach even the court of law. He has cut down the reservations of BCs from 34 to 18 to 23%, depending upon the districts. So how much reservations he has cut down to the BCs is not a betrayal to the BCs of Telangana, more particularly BCs who are constituting 52% population. And the height of abasement is, in GHMC, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, there are 150 wards. Out of this 150 wards, 50 wards are exclusively meant for BCs. So that is the 33% reservation, where because of Hyderabad population more in BC, they have taken district into consideration. They have implemented 33.3%. So out of these 50 divisions, Muslims in the name of BCs, they have won 32 divisions, but Hindus, who constitute 52% population, they won only in 18 divisions. So you can imagine how BCs are suffering to this appeasement policies of the so-called governments like TMC, TRS, BRS, and YSRCP. Is it not an injustice to the BCs belonging to Hindus? Apart from this 32, there are other Muslims who got elected from general seats. And one more glaring example, how these governments have been betraying BCs, particularly in Telangana. When it comes to the higher education to the students of BCs, so-called professional colleges, engineering, medicine, and postgraduates, where the fee reimbursement scheme, the fee reimbursement is totally implemented for BCs belonging to Muslims and Christians. When it comes to Hindu BCs, there is a criteria. Unless until you attain rank below 10,000 in the common entrance examination, you will not be paid full reimbursement. Why this discrimination? Why this discrimination? I want the government to answer. When I raised this question in assembly as an MLA, the CM put a blank face. How can it happen? And assured that I'll see to that all the BCs, even belonging to Hindus, also get full reimbursement. Almost 7 years has been passed. Nothing has been done. And as I said, in West Bengal, how these Bangladeshis, Rohingyas, migrants have been issued BC certificates, and all the Muslims. And for information, in Kerala, where Congress was in power, UDF and LDF is power, all the Muslims in Kerala are belonging to BCs only, BC community. Kerala has got a 40% reservation for BCs, where the population of Muslims is 26%, Hindus 50%, 55 to 60%, but the reservation goes like this. Out of every 40 posts, 11 goes to Elavas, 10 to Muslims, 4 to Latin Catholics, and even Catholic in Nadars, and 3 to Hindu Nadars. So, when BC Hindu population having 60% population and 26% Muslim population, out of this 40% reservation, you see how many Muslims and Christians are getting in the name of BC reservation and how many Hindus. Why this discrimination? Why this appeasement? That is what we as BJP, OBC Morcha would like to question all these so-called regional parties and national party who has got a 100 years history, Congress party. And where Congress party is in power in Rajasthan, you will be surprised to know 7 districts in Rajasthan, they have not got a single OBC certificate or OBC reservation for any single person. Though The population is not less than 50% in all the districts, BC population. And they claim that everybody is a creamy layer. This is the attitude of Congress towards BCs belonging to Hindu